Hello and welcome to this new episode of Bootstrapping Your Dreams Show. I'm your host Manoj Agarwal, and today we will be talking with Jill Carter. So, Jill is a highly respected matchmaker and relationship coach known for blending emotional intelligence with results driven, deeply personal approach to modern dating. With years of experience working exclusively with affluent professionals, entrepreneurs, business leaders, Jill has built a reputation for delivering exceptional success rates by focusing on what most dating services overlook: the human element. Her work centers on listening deeply, uncovering patterns, and helping clients get radically honest about what they truly want in love. Jill's expertise has been featured on national television, including Real Housewives of Vancouver, where she interviewed Mary Zilba and successfully matched her with renowned businessman, author, and former Dragon's Den investor Brett Wilson. Her elite scouting skills were also instrumental in Bachelor Canada in 2014, where she helped identify top finalists for the season. Before founding Modern Pursuit Matchmaking, Jill honed her craft with leading firms such as Hearts Canada, It's Just Lunch, and Matchmaker for Hire, giving her rare insider insight into what doesn't work in dating and what truly creates chemistry and lasting connection. At Modern Pursuit, Jill delivers a bold, bespoke, and highly personalized matchmaking experience, earning trust by building relationships first and designing strategies around each client's lifestyle, values, and vision for partnership. If you're fascinated by love, psychology, chemistry, and high performance relationships, this conversation with Jill is one you don't want to miss. Welcome, Jill.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me, Manoj.
Absolutely, absolutely. You are a fascinating person and a fascinating industry. So let's dive in. How did you get into this business? What's the story behind all this?
It just kind of happened sort of naturally. I had my son, and I had been working in the mutual fund industry prior to that. Um, my father had died suddenly, and I needed a break. I needed a break from that world and that industry, and I enjoyed it, but it was when something like that happens, when a death happens so suddenly, it makes you stop and take
Mhm,
stock of
mhm,
your life. And so um, I had my son, and I was thinking, should I go back into the industry? What should I do? And I just happened to come across another matchmaker who was Jane Carstens, who's been in the industry a long time as well. And we hit it off. We were like two peas in a pod for a long time, and her and I appeared on The Housewives together. So
mhm,
that, we did a lot of fun things together. So I
mhm.
appreciated my time and her wisdom that she gave me over the years and us working together. So that's I just kind of fell into it.
Mhm.
And I think working in the mutual fund industry and anything in sales, as you know, um, it starts with relationships. The person, the broker on the other side has to trust what you're saying. You have to build that trust.
Yeah,
So, and in what I do, I think it's the same thing. You've got to build the trust with your client first,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and first and foremost, and that takes some time. Sometimes it doesn't happen overnight, and sometimes it does.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sometimes it does when people, there's a synergy there and people feel comfortable. And yeah, so that's how I
That's great.
started.
So, I'm deep into this stuff myself. My background is technology and AI, but it actually is very much interlinked with how humans behave and think, and what technology impact has on human life.
Yeah.
And dating apps have had a huge impact on the social fabric of society.
Yes, they have.
How have you like, and you have been, you have a vantage point where you have seen this industry without the dating apps and now with the dating apps.
Mhm.
So how have things changed according to you as these algorithms are taking over and interfering with the
But yeah,
relationship? Yeah.
I think people are not as patient as they used to be.
Mm.
They want, it's all about instant gratification, I think. And that's, scrolling and swiping and I just don't think people are patient and curious like they once used to be. And when you're sitting in a coffee shop or in a lounge or at a bar or wherever, um, people, you would gaze into each other's eyes, you'd kind of get that look, and then you would connect that way. So that human, that's gone. That human connection is gone online. And I don't think there's there's pros and cons obviously to it, but I just think the way that it's set up now, I think it's really unhealthy for humans. I
Mhm,
mean, the
mhm,
way it is now, and I don't think it serves us at
mhm, mhm.
all.
Yeah,
And I think you have to really be patient. You have to weed through the profiles and be conscious of what you're looking at and be fair too. I mean, people are nervous when they put their profiles up, and it might be the first time in 20 years, 30 years that they're putting up a profile and trying the dating game after a divorce
yeah,
or someone, their partner dies or has passed, right?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I think people just need to be kinder,
Mhm, mhm.
because we have to when we're face to face. We're kind of forced to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
We were taught that way. But when you're online, I think people tend to just see whatever comes out, and sometimes people are really unhappy
Mhm,
and
mhm,
unhappy, and that comes out, and it can be devastating for some people. When
mhm,
I
mhm.
just ask people to be kind when they're online.
Yeah. So do you think, I mean, so I noticed the same thing as more and more technology is being incorporated into our lives.
Mm-hmm.
We get impatient, our attention spans are slowing, getting lowered. And
Yeah.
that, as you said, like, that creates urgency in people and a lack of curiosity. And also this kind of, uh, uh, you know, uh, a notion of too much choice. Like, people tend to think we have too much choice. Like, so again, what do you think is going to happen as these trends continue? What will be the impact on society, individuals, according to you?
Well, I think if it doesn't change, we're gonna be in trouble as a human race, I think,
Mm.
if we don't change our ways. So I think the younger generation, I mean, they meet up in person more than, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s.
Really?
I well, not maybe not our generation, but they certainly meet up more than what we are, I think,
Mm-hmm.
somewhat,
Mm-hmm.
because in their teens and 20s, it's about meeting up with your friends and what have you. But where do I think it's going? I think if it doesn't change, I mean, something needs to change. So whether the apps get kinder on some level, or there's got to be some more screening or something. Or what I'd like to see is people get off the apps, really. I would
Mm-hmm.
really like to see people get off the apps and have places where people can go and socialize,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? And whether it's with music, whether it's with poetry, I don't know, whether it's whatever it is, but in a social setting, And I know lots of people. I know there's companies like for social events and things like that. People can join in social clubs, which I think are better.
Mm-hmm.
But what tends to happen is more women join.
I see.
So you have more women, especially we're in Vancouver, British Columbia. So there's more women here in Vancouver than there are men,
Oh.
single typically,
Mhm.
typically. Um, and yeah, so you get more women. So it's great for the women, you can meet some friends, but that's not what you're there to do. You're there to connect with people um, for a
Mhm.
relationship.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Do you feel like technology is also creating more kind of broken relationships? Like, people who are already in relationships, they tend to get out of relationships earlier, or there is lack of trust or anything along those lines.
Yeah, I think all those things play into it. Because if the relationship isn't stable to begin with, and people are scrolling, and that let me see what you're looking on your phone because the trust is go for whatever reason, right? We won't go into that. Yeah, that can factor into it.
Mhm.
What gets me a lot of times is when I'm out for dinner or something, and I people watch all the time because it's what I do, and constantly scouting. So if I see a couple who's sitting, it just pains me when I see a couple sitting there in a great restaurant and they're both on their phones. I
Mhm.
just want to go over there and say, guys, put your phones down and have a
Mhm.
conversation and connect. And
Mhm.
I just, sometimes I think it's the silences that people find uncomfortable because we're always filled with information and noise and garbage, really, that we need to give our minds a rest. And when we have that silence between a man and a woman, or a woman, whatever type of relationship you're in, um, human to human, it's we have to be okay with that.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
okay to have those sides. We don't always have to be filling
Yeah.
in the gap,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
right? So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, one thing that you mentioned, garbage and noise, that is also a big factor that I notice, that more automation, more technology produces more noise, and
Mhm.
that kind of interferes with our mind, our nervous systems.
Oh,
So
definitely.
one of the things that we do is, like, we are creating some filters for this noise, almost like a vacuum cleaner that will start to take away some of the noise from the mind. um,
Fabulous.
yeah. So do you think that when some people get into a little bit more like self-care, uh, you know taking care of their mind, their body, do you think that affects their relationship?
With tech.
No, 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 no. In general, let's say, they start to meditate or do yoga or tai
Oh,
chi or
absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I would agree with that statement.
yeah.
Well, because your nervous system is not so heightened.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
when your nervous system is heightened all the time, you're agitated. You can be irritated
Hmm.
easily, and I think that affects a relationship, any type of relationship, whether it's partner relationship, with your children, with
Hmm.
your family, with your coworkers, right? So it's a human issue,
Hmm.
right? It's a human issue. And, I mean, humans have relationships, so it affects all types of relationships for
Yeah, yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your method or way to get to know somebody. Like, when you talk to a new prospective client or anybody,
Hmm.
you what kind of data are you collecting? How do you understand a person? How do you figure out what they are looking for and what is going to be good? I mean, there is one thing what they are looking for, but also what is good for them. So
Right.
yeah.
So, I mean, people, especially women, sorry, ladies, but they come with a laundry list of what they're looking for. Men are simpler. And I don't mean that in a bad way. raised a son. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love men. Men are
Mhm.
fantastic. Um, and men just come at it in a far simpler way. And for women, it's again, the list is much longer. So
Mhm.
I have to have them hone in on what's really important to them, right?
Mhm.
And I tend to, like, I obviously have standard questions that I ask, but it's more
Mhm.
like a conversation, right? Kind of like what we're having
Yeah, yeah,
here
yeah, yeah.
today, just a conversation. And sometimes I will talk about some of my own personal stories, which makes them feel safe. And then
Mhm.
they open up a little bit more, right? So it's all those nuances that that I bring to it, and just making them feel comfortable, which allows me to go deeper. I'm quite intuitive with people, so I know where to back off if I've hit a nerve,
Mhm.
and or where I can expand on something that they've said. I ask them to explain it. And, I mean, it's all the standard questions, what do you like to do? What were your past relationships like? And then I'll ask, why didn't they work? Right? And you get a lot of insight from that, and really what they're hoping to achieve this time around. What their forever partner, what's that look like and why?
Got it, got it.
Yeah. Mhm.
And now, again, me being in technology, I will try to add a little bit of that element all the time. I've heard a lot of people say that, now ChatGPT is my best friend. It's my therapist. It's my
Mm,
virtual girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Have you
yeah.
heard anything of that sort in the field? If so, like, what, like, maybe you can share some
Yeah,
stories or
not too much with the people I deal with in who I work with.
whatever.
It, I mean, my business is geared towards successful men and a network of fantastic women and so everyone's a professional.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they have a well-rounded life, right? They have a well-rounded life. But I have heard, I mean, they're concerned, some people, with their children,
Mhm.
the younger adults and
Mhm.
teenagers, and that they
Mhm.
just focus on what a what do they call it, a bot or so? I don't know,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
techie, but getting their information from from chat GPT, then
Mhm.
going out in the world and experiencing it. So I think that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm
Okay.
hearing.
All right. And so, coming back to how people pick or make a choice, has that changed over time? Like, for example, um, expectations about what level, a social, economic level somebody has achieved. Have those expectations changed over time?
I don't, maybe maybe
Mhm.
with women, I think as women have, you know, financially more independent over the decades. Certainly, women are looking for men at least at their professional level or higher.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
certainly women in their, I would say, mid 30s and up,
Mhm. Mhm.
um, and especially women in their 50s, I would say. The younger generation, not so much. They're just, I mean, if they're concentrated on their career or at school, then they want to attract someone um, at that level. I find men, depends on what financial level too. I find the men that I work with, and some of them can be quite wealthy. It doesn't really matter to them,
Mhm.
right? I
Mhm.
mean, intelligence, of course, and is important, and a good person, and being able to commingle with families and get along and want to
Mhm.
travel, and their core values align. That's important to them. Financially, not so much. um yeah, that's what
Good.
I've yeah.
So the other thing I want to ask you is, like, when you work with successful people who have reached a certain status in their life,
Yes.
that doesn't come easy. I mean, success is a result of like grit and dominance and
Yeah.
problem solving, and that sort of starts to sit in your ego somewhat, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how do people kind of resolve it after a certain age, when they have had the scars of life, when they come together with another person who have had similar scars? Now, how do they adjust to that reality, or to each other?
A good therapist would help. I can start there. So I always say I'm not a therapist, I'm not a
Yeah.
counselor, and I will recommend. I work actually with a few therapists that
Mhm.
if I think, hey, it's beyond my expertise and skill set. So I just I think when you get to a certain age, um, and I bring this to them. Hey, at the end of the day, it's about how someone makes you feel. So
Mhm.
if especially with men, successful men, and I get feedback from everybody, right? So it's I get a lot of insight from that. So sometimes I have to carefully and gingerly say to my male clients, "Hey, this is a romantic partnership. Okay, they're not your employee, right? They're not a business associate or a potential business. So I ask them to be more vulnerable,
Mhm.
tap
Mhm.
into your vulnerability,
Mhm.
and sometimes it's hard,
Mhm.
especially depending on the age. But I find men are easy to coach.
Mhm. I see.
Because,
Wow.
because I'm a woman, I'm coming
Mhm.
from a woman perspective,
Sure. Sure.
and that's who I work with. I work with men, and then I match them with women.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So they like that they're working with a woman, and
Yeah.
it's my perspective, and coming from a woman's perspective, they like the insight. So
Absolutely.
they tend to listen.
Okay, that's
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay, so the other thing is, what I'm noticing in everyone, young, old, we have kind of like forgotten to go out and do things, because we, as you said, like, we are always kind of buried in our screens, in our phones.
Mhm.
But I think in order to get truly to know somebody, like, you need to get out, you need to get lost in a city, you need
Sure.
to, like, kind of like, get into situations and face it together. How do you what kind of behavior do you notice in people now, and do you encourage them to, like, actually get out there and do something, rather than just like chat
Sure.
over?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, dinners and drinks is great, but I always encourage to just go for a walk, like on the beach, because
Mhm.
the nature really calms your nervous system,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
right? And
yeah,
so, especially if or grounding, right? Take your shoes and socks off and and sit on the sand, sit
yeah,
at
yeah,
the
yeah,
beach or
yeah,
through the grass.
yeah.
And sorry about that. And uh yeah, I think nature, go for a hike. I mean, we live in Vancouver. I mean, it's beautiful. There's so many trails and mountains you can hike, and we're very lucky to have what we have
Yeah,
here. So
absolutely.
I encourage, kayaking's a big thing, biking, yeah, just taking a stroll, to go
Mhm.
bowling. I don't, go tennis, golf. I mean, there's just so many things people can do, or just sit on a park bench
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and talk, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
talk. So yeah.
Do you have any, like, interesting stories, anecdotes, without naming any names, about, like, any funny stories, any bloopers of people going out uh, and something interesting coming out of it?
Well, I mean, like I said, I work with men, and they respect my judgment. And sometimes these men, they're used to people agreeing with them all the time and saying yes. And so I don't come from that point of view. I'll just tell them, or encourage them to open their minds and what have you. I had one gentleman who called me, and he said, "Jill, I really screwed up. I
Mm,
really screwed up big time." And I said, "Well, what happened?" And he told me what it was. And I said, "Well, it's very simple. I call everybody Bob. Okay, so that's not his name. I'm like, it's very simple, Bob." And he said, "Well, tell me." And I said, "You apologize."
mm,
I
mm,
mean, it's just that simple. People think like there's got to be this big show of regret, or oh my gosh, like people are afraid of making mistakes,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
We're human. So I said, just approach her, but you have to understand why you're apologizing, right?
mhm,
And that's where the empathy comes in, right? And when people feel like you understand how you hurt them, then you actually become closer,
mhm, mhm.
right?
Yeah,
There's a trust, like, oh, okay. I mean, we all screw up, right? We all make mistakes, and we can't be held to these perfect levels. So as long as you're honest about it, um, I think people are open to that, and will forgive and move on. And so that's what he did, and now they're together and have children, and you know
nice.
yeah,
Very cool. Very cool.
life
So
goes on.
you brought up nervous system a few times. Like you
Yeah.
seem to have like a really deep understanding of human nature and nervous system. And
I wouldn't say, yeah. I mean, it's an interest to me. It's an interest to me, and it's. I mean, it governs our how we react and how we think a lot of the times, right? And there's all kinds of things that you can do. I mean, for women, and I just, um, especially, there's a lot of. I'm going off topic here, but there's a lot of information now, finally, for women
Mhm,
about perimenopause and menopause, and it really affected relationships,
mhm, mhm,
right?
mhm,
And it was never talked about. Doctors knew nothing about it, and
mhm,
they weren't taught about it. So um, I'm big on energy work too. So Donna Eden, so like energy
mhm, mhm.
medicine for women, by Donna Eden, is a great book for women to connect with, and it helps your nervous system and
Yeah, yeah.
unblock and what have you. So I think, yeah, I mean, there's meditation. People know about that. There's energy work. There's Reiki, and I mean, just sitting in silence,
Mhm. Yeah, 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 yeah.
right?
Uh,
Breath work. Breath
yeah,
work is another
yeah,
great
yeah.
tool for people to have to de-escalate how they're feeling, and just that overwhelming feeling that we get so much now because of the world we live in.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, so I just really encourage people to just sit in silence sometimes, just breathe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So tell me one thing, like, you have been in this for a long time. What kind of misconceptions people have? Like, what doesn't work? Let's say if you were to advise me, uh, what kind of people, what kind of things that people don't uh, have a reality check on, blind spots.
I think, I think now, because the influencers online are really causing havoc in
Mhm,
relationships,
mhm,
because they're looking for likes and followers. So
mhm,
they create this sort of fake world of how women should be or how men should be, and it's just false. I mean, it's just false. You know, every he should treat you like a queen.
mhm,
Well, you should treat him like a king,
mhm,
right? I
mhm,
mean, it goes both ways. And um yeah, I just think there's yeah, yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah.
Okay, so tell me now, you know, we talked about the current state of technology, dating apps. You know what works. You have had so many success stories under your belt.
Hmm.
Let's say you know somebody gave you a magic wand and said, okay, Jill, like change the whole game, build a technology that will like really bring people together. What will that look like? What will be your vision, to change the dating game with technology, because technology is here to stay, right? Like,
Yeah. What would I change about it? I would change, you know what I would change is intention.
mm,
So that people have to, how do you force someone to have intention? Right? It's a hard thing, but I think there's things you can do. I think there's um, guardrails you can set up. The whole ghosting thing, I think we can eliminate that by setting up certain guardrails and making people accountable.
mhm, mhm.
Um, I Yeah, I think making it less that you can hide behind something, right? Without giving, a lot of personal information, but that the companies have to keep people honest and intentional.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because right now it's 30-40 dollars a month, and they just collect their money, and there's really not a lot of guardrails set up
Correct,
for
correct, correct. Yeah,
for the human experience, right? There's no consequences if someone acts like an ass
yeah, 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 yeah.
or
Exactly.
ghost. And also, um maybe more of this,
Hmm. Hmm.
like if you're interested and two people match, then it's automatically this,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
right? So you have to, now you got to give girls a moment to like get pretty and everything, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um but something like that, right? So
Nice,
there's
nice, nice.
more connection and just less of just on the on texting and
Yeah,
emailing.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I come from India. Like even now in India, like dating apps are the rage. But traditionally, there has been like there used to be a matchmaker,
Yep.
and they used to like match the horoscopes and everything.
Horoscopes, a big thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So, do you think matchmaking actually can be just delegated to technology? Like, don't you think there needs to be somebody in the middle, or can it be all technology?
That's a hard question. That's
Hmm.
a hard question. I think it would be better if you had somebody in the middle.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
do.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, yeah, to screen, I don't know how that would work, but yes, how you would build that. I'm not a techie.
Yeah,
That's your realm.
yeah,
But
yeah.
do I think that would be a better thing? Probably. But I think holding people accountable
Hmm.
on these apps is part of is a way to go too, because I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah,
I hear my friends and people say, I'm so frustrated, right? And the algorithms and who they match me with, like, have they seen my photos? Right? Like, why would I be matched with this individual?
yeah. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's, looks is part of, like chemistry and attractiveness is part of
Hmm.
it. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think there has to be more responsibility on the companies themselves
yeah, 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 yeah.
and how they match people. Um, if you're just matching people for the sake of matching, then that's why people get frustrated,
Yeah.
and
No,
then they go off of them,
yeah. I
and
hear.
then they don't date.
Yeah, I heard like a lot of these large companies, Tinder and Bumble, their
Yeah.
stock is going down. People
Yeah.
have swiping fatigue.
Yep.
So definitely, I think something needs to change.
Yep.
So I hope some of those executives listen to this interview and
Mhm.
maybe reach out to you to get some advice.
Right.
Any lasting words, like based on what we talked about, where the future is, what your vision is for your life, what or any advice for people who are looking for a new relationship?
Yeah, I just think there's been a real mismatch between what people are looking for and the systems that are in play now.
Hmm.
Because, 75% I would say people meet online. So just understand, if I could leave people with anything, I just understand that it takes time. It
Hmm.
takes time. Work on yourself, make sure you're in a good place and you're happy and you know what you want, because choosing a life partner is the most important decision you'll ever make in your
Yeah,
life,
absolutely,
because it
absolutely.
encompasses so many things in your life going forward. So it is the most important thing you'll do. So if you haven't gotten it right the first couple of times, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. You're just learning, right? I mean,
Yeah,
we're just
yeah,
learning, and a lot of those lessons are make us who we are today. I'm a big believer in that.
yeah, yeah.
So don't get down on yourself, but just take time. Take the time, invest in yourself, become the best version of yourself,
Yeah.
and I say 5 core values that you really want to align with someone, um, and see where it goes from there. And
Great.
don't and here's a big thing. I'll leave you with this. Do not be afraid. So once you're in a relationship, do not be afraid to have boundaries, okay? To say to someone, this is what I need from you. This is what I need to make me be here. This is what I want. Because if if they can't give you what you need, they'll let you know real quick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And you don't want to waste time, right? You don't want
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
waste time. So don't be afraid of the response.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Stand in your truth of what you need and what you want. I mean, be reasonable. Okay, be reasonable, and I think that will serve you.
Awesome.
Just
Great.
know what you want.
Awesome. So now let me know, let the audience know if they want to reach out, they want to work with you, or they want
Oh,
to connect
great.
with you.
Yeah.
What is the best way to do that?
You can reach me at my email online at Jill at modernpursuitmatchmaking.com. I know it's long, but once it's in there, it's in there. Or you can reach me at, can I give my phone number? The
Uh,
office
uh,
number?
I Yeah, sure, sure, sure. Yeah, we'll put those
Or you can post it. Why
details.
don't you post it? Yeah, why
Sure,
don't you
sure.
post it? Or
We'll
they
do that.
can phone me. I'm always,
Yeah.
typically I'm on the phone a lot, so I'm either
Mhm.
coaching or on the phone, but I we can always I'll get back to them really quick. So,
Sounds good. So
yeah,
we'll put those links.
I love people. I just find people interesting. I love to hear people's stories. I think
Mhm.
everybody's story is a bestseller,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
You can always learn something from somebody,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
So,
It has been a great conversation. Thank you so much. I think we are on the verge of some sort of disruption because it's needed, I think. And
absolutely.
yeah, I think people who are in this business, like you have lots of experience. I think you will be instrumental in helping change
Yeah.
whatever is coming. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I hope
Great.
to
Thank you
be.
so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Manish. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.